Okay, everyone. I can tell I'm wearing my sweater again, which means it's been a long time since I've continued on this chopper build. Luckily, this is still a part of the same video for you guys, so it was a month for me, it'll already half a second for y'all, but like I said, next time you see it, we'll be on sawhorses, so where's that up? There. Come on. There she is. On the sawhorses, I still got that rear tire on, but with that gap in the middle, I can just drop it right underneath that fender, take out the fender, and then we can finish this video up by cleaning up all the rust. Obviously, I gotta take off the brake lines, but that'll be okay, that's not a problem. But you see all the rust built up over time, and for it to get plated, I need to make sure all my welds are finalized and clean. Especially in these grooves here, I need to make sure all kind of corrosion, speck, and crap is out of it. Make sure all these welds are solidified. Transmission mount. I am going next episode cut this bar out because this is essentially getting replaced by the square stock here. And so during the wiring episode, you see how much I had to contort my lanky bony hands to get in there. So it'll be easy, so much easier once I get this fucking bar out. And like I said, and then we can start cleaning up and get prepped for plating. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been subscribed so far, been following the channel. And again, if you want to support the channel, link to the Teespring will be down below. And let's get on to it. Alright y'all, so all that's left is take out this rear fender. And anyone had any good advice when measuring up fenders a little bit better, because in order to put the fender or the tire and fender combo together, the fender has to be put on first, and with this tail end, I can't just roll the tire in. I actually have to do what I'm doing now, and actually lift the back end and slide everything from underneath. So just to have a little extra canvas to paint, I made the whole tire process that much more difficult. But this is a 4-point contact fender, so I got the 2 on the sissy bar, which is hard welded straight to the frame, so the sissy bar is permanent to the frame, which is what I was going for. And I got one right on the rear strut here, and one right at the base here, where there's going to be clearance for the chain, which I might just have to kind of grind off. No, I remember I had clearance. So yeah, just the 4 bolts here. Let's knock them out and get this thing right down to be ready to be wire wheeled. So now we have just a raw frame for me to get crack-a-lacking on. So just minus that from Springer. But if we head over with this table here, I would say about 80% has been, that was stock, that was modified, or right from scratch. And all of this belongs on that. This is how simple, bare bones this chopper really is. That is why I kind of went with a longer fender and a bigger tank, just to have a little more canvas to paint on. But I will lay all this stuff out in a later video, probably closer towards the plating section of the video, the project, and I'm going to explain to everyone what the parts are that I'm going to have plated chrome and plated brass. But just to tell you right now, this whole frame, sissy bar and all, the Indian Larry inspired down to, which is the West Coast, because I'm from BC, rope pattern down tube, all this is going to be brass gold. Just picture that. Imagine something like this ripping down the highway with an 88 twin cam engine in there. True rigid, actual stretch and rake front end. The finish line, ladies and gentlemen, is this close. It could be this close, like again, if you want to buy my merch from my Teespring link down below, but that's strictly optional. But anyways, back on the main topic is, like I said, I gotta get as much of this rust off as I can, because I gotta finish a lot of the welds. Like you see, a lot of these welds are just essentially tacks. Finish off the rake bumper, or not rake bumper, steering bumper. Make sure that's perfectly symmetrical. dig in all this. Maybe find a way to kind of taper this in, because this doesn't look really good to have just a straight cut. But I think I got a piece somewhere in that pile that will go, and it'll make a nice transition. I also gotta solidify, like this is literally just tacked, and this is the top engine mount, so I need to make sure this is solid as hell. I also need to secure my axle adjusters on both sides, fender mount, and also kind of give it a nice bit of a radius, and get rid of this. And like I said, just either polish everything up, make it look actually, you know, semi-professional. And yeah, even with the respirator on, I started turning on the fan to get some of this rust out of here. Bad enough I smoke, don't need the extra rust in my lungs, eh? Anyways, probably been spending a good 20-30 minutes just on this down tube alone. Like you saw earlier, just that. And trying to dig in the crevices. Yeah, my hands are a little bit red from the grinder. Trying to dig in, so I just ride along the spiral here. So for example, I'll do this, and I'll have to hop back and forth, right like that, and do it again. So back and forth, run that crease, hop over, get the outside perimeter, because I need this side to be clean as well, not just the inner groove. And start from the bottom, work our way all the way to the top. I still have a little more to do up in here, I can see, but it's hard to get the grinder up in there. But the down tube so far, oh, she's looking good. Looks good on camera. Looks better in person, people. So this section here is already nice and done. So I've got to work my way down. I may have to get some steel wool for this, and also take out the bolts. And so I started here, up, gonna run back down, and run it across here. This side's already pretty clean. You saw that in the time lapse. And just kind of work in a circle. So when I get back up there, run it up to here, clean, 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 and run it back down here. So that's the okay. So during the wire wheeling process here, as you can see, I lost the transmission mount lug. So gonna bust out the anger grinder, get this leg off. While this is exposed, because all the surface is nice and clean at the moment, I may start my welding with this transmission bung. Bust out the transmission again, luckily it's right on the table, and put it on, slide it back until it's squared again, and then re-tack it, remove the transmission, and then finish the weld here. So bust out the end grinder, take this chunk of slag off, and then hit the hell out of this, get this sturdy. Alright, just let you know, I fucked up, but we can fix it. Okay, so this is what we got down so far. I'll leave these on, I look good in them. So right down here, I tried my best at TIG welding this spacer plate onto this lug here, but as you can tell, my TIG welding skills got really fucking rusty. But since we lost this lug, we had to come up with a solution. So what I did was I solidified the one lug that was still in its original place, and I just slid this underneath, dropped both bolts down, tightened them down, and I just kept on shimming the transmission, because this comes from factory squared off of this. This is a perfect 90, same with that. So if I were to put my square right up against it and then lay it flat up against the side of the transmission here, which has a nice middle flat surface, you can see, get my head out of the way, we can't really get the lighting. Oh, there we go. It runs flush. So that is the position where this lug has to go. So this runs straight to the rear axle. And this is still connected to the engine, which is all mounted up here. Yada, 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 yada. And it just saves me from doing a whole bunch of math and squaring and lines. So this is a quick way of doing it. It's just how I'm going to do it. If you want to go a little more tedious and actually, you know, measure like a nerd, go ahead. So I'm going to toss some tacks back in here and then take off the transmission again and solidify this one so it won't go nowhere. So this doesn't go anywhere, which doesn't fuck up that, and yada yada yada. Stay tuned. Let's get that thing tacked into place, yeah? Hey guys, okay, so quick little update. I actually added a bit of a bridge just to create a little more stability. So I gotta dig out some of the Dremels, clean up on the inside there, and clean up on the inside there, but that's so much more sturdier. Happy to do that. I think that's all the welding I can do today. I already went through a spool earlier in this episode. Tomorrow, I have to hit the section because I still have work to do in the morning. I still gotta hit the gym tonight, so tomorrow, I'm gonna start running some stick welds all along the transmission plate here, and then probably hit the exhaust bracket again with the MIG tomorrow as well. So tomorrow I want to finish up all this, and even probably some of this. So I'm probably gonna have to articulate the frame some more. But, and of course Ray's barking away. That's why we're concluding this episode. Not this episode, this part of the episode. So I'll see y'all in a sec, and enjoy. Alrighty then, so unfortunately the buzz box I'm using keeps on blowing out the circuit breaker, so we're actually gonna load everything up and we're gonna have to head down to Hillbilly Creation Shop to finish welding up the chopper, or the frame that is. So we're gonna get all my gear loaded back up, the welders loaded up, and let's see you at the shop. Hey guys, we finally made it over to my brother's shop, Hillbilly Creations. He's really coming clutch and let me use his shop so we can stop blowing breakers in my place. So like I said, now we got a bit of a better angle, better lighting. My main focus are on the structural welds, and also just a few odds and ends that I can't really hit well with my MIG gun. Everything else, all the other welding I can do at the shop, not below circuit. So anyway, I'm gonna get changed in my welding gear and we're gonna get on it. Alright? Enjoy. I gotta explain that shit on camera. Okay, where's my gloves? Right over there. Alright. Alright y'all, so we're going to start with the transmission plate, because this is what's going to create the most amount of strength into the whole frame itself. Because the last time Hillbilly was on my channel and he had sat on it, the entire frame was kind of snaking, just because that was only supported just by a few tacks. Other than that, it's just all frame, nothing really supporting it. So that's what this is. What this plate is going to help, not only for the transmission, but the overall structure, and the front plate for the rectifier. So I'm going to get you guys on the time lapse, and maybe Hillbilly can be the cameraman.
Oh yes.
And we'll get to work. Okay, come on.
Why are you doing this?
I see a little of these. Watch your eyes. Not bad for a root, but for some reason that was skipping out on me when I was trying to make a full seam. You saw it probably on the camera where it was on, off, even though I had a strong arc. But as when you buy Chinese brands,
If it gets the job done, it gets the job done though.
alright. Remember, I never went to school for this, so
This is all self-taught and watching friends and family.
there we go. Right. I think that's the breaker. You like you're my apprentice.
Apprentice helper. Well, you're the one pretty much teaching me, so technically I am.
Moving the frame.
I'm holding you now for you.
Chip away this shit. Alright guys, so at the moment we got Hillbilly Creations. He's going to hit over my welds with a flap disc. I am not a very good stick welder. It's pretty much been the only time I really did any successful quote-unquote stick welds. So what I'm going to have him do, just go over everything with the flap disc, just kind of smooth everything out so I can find any undercut or irregularities that I can again zap on over, and then we're just going to flip the whole thing over, catch it from the bottom side. Hopefully that'll be just a little bit easier. Alright? How about it? So now that my bro finished the grinding, you can see all my imperfections nice and shiny like. Obviously I'm not going to leave it at that. I'm going to go over a few more passes just to clean up some of these gaps here, make it all one structural piece, and then we'll flip it. See you in a second. Okay guys, we are back in the shop, and unfortunately I couldn't film the rest of the welding I had to do over my buddy Hillbilly's shop because I forgot to bring the camera with you guys. But all the major structural points, especially the kickstand, the exhaust bracket, engine mounts, rear passenger pegs are all solidified, the axle adjusters are all solidified again. Now it's actually going to be the tedious portion of running everything over with a small die grinder, get all those welds flush and smooth and clean, make everything blend together, and if there's anything I have to go over, like the gas tank tabs here, I can hit with the MIG gun and they'll be solid as a rock. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who's been watching so far and staying tuned, and let's get right back into the work.